All right. Hear ye. Call this council meeting to order. I'm David Faber. Why are you wearing that hat? I didn't really want to talk about it. See, I'm sweating bullets, as they say. Oh, should I get the trauma kit? No, it's not like that. I have to wear this band because I'm Mayor David Faber and I'm sweating bullets because that Crystal Cox, Reverend Crystal Cox, yeah, she filed an ethics complaint against me. Well, right, but you're not worried about it, right? Because it's not going to go anywhere. No, I'm not worried about it. It's not going to go anywhere. She's like, loser. But the thing is that, I'm a social masochist. And because it's not going to go anywhere, I'm really sad because I want it to go somewhere. And, I want everybody to make fun of me. So, anyway, y'all just don't mind this. I wasn't wearing it earlier. And sweat was rolling down and getting in my eyes. And we got some upzoning to do. We got some wetlands to destroy. We got some conflicts of interest and some money for my friends to vote on. So just ignore my sweat catcher, okay? Because I'm Mayor David Faber. I'm the mayor of Yapsville, as you know. Oh, you didn't see my shirt? Yapsville, mayor of Yapsville, okay? Okay. So what I'm going to tell you guys about today is... Oh, right, I did forget. Everybody, we're going to pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag that I hate. I hate everyone who has an American flag. They march around and call themselves patriots or something like that. I pledge allegiance to the flag. I hate constitutional rights. I hate, especially for women. Women. Yes, I'll get on with it. All right, everybody. Okay. Let's call this meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag and for which it doesn't stand for, and I pledge allegiance to myself. I pledge allegiance to upzoning this and upzoning that for my own personal benefit. I pledge allegiance to the orcas, and I pledge allegiance to my friends, and I pledge allegiance to, the prosecutors and all of the people that pay my wages and give me special favors, and I pledge allegiance to, taxing you more so that I can create a fake housing issue. See, that's what I do. I raise the taxes for everybody. And then they're like, I can't afford the taxes. I'm going to live by half and I live for Townsend. I can't live here anymore. Oh, I know. I'll rent out a room. Or I'll just, turn my garage into a house. No, you won't. I'm David Faber. I'm going to vote on laws so that you cannot rent your property as an individual. I'm going to protect developers because that's what me and Southeast Sandoval, we have a pact and that's what we do. Okay. So I'm going to make it so that your taxes go up. You have to get a permit for everything. I'm going to block you out of everything. And then I'm going to go, there's no housing. And I don't know why. But I'll tell you what. I didn't create the housing problem. I would never do that. But what I am going to do for you, because it's happening all over the state. It's like happening everywhere. Because we are the same agenda. I'm Mayor David Faber. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the wetlands down at the golf course. Wetlands suck. And what I'm going to do is fill them all in with sand. And they'll never come back, okay? What about all the people that don't want that? People. I'm David Faber. I say who's people, okay? You seem a little stressed tonight. I am. I'm tired. And I'm stressed. And I'm like sweating because of that Crystal Cox and her ethics complaint. But you know it ain't go anywhere. No, it ain't go anywhere. She's dumber than a box of rocks, that Crystal. It will be dismissed and there will be found no ethics against me because I'm David Faber. I've never committed an ethical... Haven't you had ethical complaints against you before? Yeah, but I got out of those too because I said I would never have a conflict of interest. I would be very, very mindful. And then the ethics officer said, okay, David Faber, we know that you'll be mindful. So David Faber, innocent. That's what happened to me and stuff. So anywho, back to upzoning this and upzoning that. Those wetlands, don't like them. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill them in with sand and we're going to put affordable housing. Okay, the service workers really need housing. Okay, let's have the golf course and let's sign an agreement right here. Okay, let's sign this agreement. I'm David Faber. What are you up to now? Well, you know where it said affordable housing and like everybody's like, okay, affordable housing, so we'll sign it and we're going to upzone it and stuff. You know where they said that? I took the word affordable out. Why did you do that? So I can have a development because I have, real estate development companies. First I had YIMBY, then I had BIMBY, then I had WIMBY, then I had Smart Urbanism, and then I had technically, because I'm ethical, but I'm not actually. And so basically it was kind of a bait and switch. Shh. What I did was I sold them on the idea of affordable housing because everybody knows we need housing for those poor people. We don't need something to keep them, get them out of poverty. We need housing for them because, and we're going to put it right across from the food bank, right? And the YMCA. But isn't the food bank like on property that's leased from the school district? Like that's just temporary, right? And the YMCA is the pool and stuff. I mean, it's school property. No. There's going to be a permanent food bank. What I mean is I'm not selling an idea on something temporary for something. I'm not doing any of that. Okay, so back to the rezoning. What we're going to do there is we're going to put a permanent building for the recycle rate. Well, didn't Sam Feinson, wasn't that his part of the... Oh, no, nobody's my friends. I don't do anything for my friends, see? But I'm not going to be mayor forever. I'm an old man. I'm like 40 now or something, like 42, 45 and stuff. So I'm not going to be mayor, so I got to set myself up. So I'm going to rezone that. Within walking distance from my house. Then I'm going to get the school district to rezone the property that the Mountain View, the pool stuff's on. And then what I'm going to do is put a big aquatic and recreation center so that I can walk there. I know, all those people say, it's not going to improve my land value or my quality of life. I mean, my house is like miles away. But then, didn't you say that Uptown was real close to the golf course and was walking distance, and that's why affordable housing should be there? Oh, pusha! I'm David Faber. I do not say stuff and then say other stuff and stuff like that. None of that happens, okay? Okay, so back to the golf course. Gonna all be zoned and flattened. Kind of like that movie Avatar, all those little fairy creatures in the woods and all those little, wetlands and everything. Well, no, I'm David Faber. Well, didn't Crystal put in her ethics complaint that that's like a state adjudication thing and you can't just really do that and that, like you have to like look at all these other... Nope. All I say is, I'm David Faber. Wah! Magic. And there it is. Whatever I want, I get. Because I know stuff about people. We have clubs and we know secrets about each other. I don't get whatever I want. And what I want is that golf course to be destroyed. Destroyed, I say. Destroyed. I hate golf. I hate golfers. I hate open spaces. What I want is urbanism. Urbanism. Oh, so you got a nonprofit and foundation for to help people do that? No, my urbanism company's for profit. Because I'm David Faber. But so are you sincere about wanting affordable housing? Sometimes I'm sincere. But what I really want is, I promised Sassy Sandoval when she got me the job as a mayor, I promised that I would get that upzone. She has been working on that for decades to get that upzone for her clients, and I want it upzoned because I want big fancy houses there and stuff, and I want to build them, and I want to make bunches of money. Well, won't the wetlands be destroyed forever? Who cares? Those fairies that live in the woods, and those frogs, and all those wet and ooey slugs, and all those things that live in wetlands, what is it, like horsetail, and, didn't the botanist say that it's wetlands that should be preserved, and it's got a history? No! I'm David Faber. None of that environmental stuff. Well, but you're protecting lands elsewhere. I know, but that's elsewhere. This is my kingdom. I'm David Faber. This is my land. It's just like, Emily Dickinson and that story about the fairy tree, right? I made the fairies all run away. And I'm going to fill it all in, and I'm going to build a big old thing for my friends. And once I get the park and everything the way I want it, then I'm going to build housing around it. Because, I already said my friends over there at Olympic Housing Trust, they're going to build the houses and control the houses. Well, but isn't the president of that your partner in Smart Urbanism LLC for profit? How dare you? I'm David Faber. If I say it's this, it's this. And if I say it's that, it's that, okay? Fine, okay. All right, we're going to rezone the golf course. It's going to be like fancy houses for all, affordable housing for all. But what I really mean is you could clean the toilets and then we'll build some high-rise somewhere. Like, I'm into urbanism, see, and I want houses everywhere, open spaces, and me, blah, we just don't get along. Like, I'm allergic to open spaces. But couldn't you build affordable housing other places? Nope. No. I promised the people who got me into power that I would zone that. And Sassy Sandoval's been trying for decades. It's just gonna be like her last dying wish. I must rezone that golf course property, prairie, Kai or Camus or whatever they call it. I must rezone it. That's what she said to me. I'm really sorry about this. So why are you wearing that again? Well, I'm really sweating a lot. And so, the ethics complaint. But none of it's true. No, none of it's true. That Reverend Cox, she said I had 4 heads. Like 16 toes, and she said that I, David Faber, would have a conflict of interest. I'm saving this town. I'm giving the service worker housing so that they can be servicing and poor forever because the retired people are going to need someone to wipe their butts. And then we got this Reverend coming in and saying, I have a conflict of interest because I have this company and that company and this company. She's a lying you-know-what. Y'all know me. I'm David Faber. And what I do is I support the community and I provide affordable housing, just like I did with that Cherry Street project. Like $1.4 million, I bet that Crystal Cox thinks if she had $1.4 million, she could actually create housing. But, I couldn't create housing over there because it was impossible. It was like kryptonite. Like, I'm Superman, but I couldn't build a house there for $1.4 million. Who am I? Like, God? No. Well, what makes you think you're going to be able to do it again? Well, I'm not really trying. I just want it to be upzoned so I can, get some grants and get some of this and help my friends. And, we're just kind of, that Reverend Cox, she calls it money laundering, but that's not what it is. Anyhow, so her point about the golf course is just dumb. Okay, so I can't upzone whatever I want. I'm not the god of zoning. I can't lie and bait and switch because I have a history of doing it before. I have to have public hearings and then tell the truth and then, okay, I will. And then I'll just take the word affordable out because there's nothing they can do because I'm David Faber. And the city manager, I got the goods on him, right? So he does whatever I want. So her point about the golf course, yes, I am sweating. Whew. Her complaint about upzoning that property to benefit my friends, no merit, no based in law, no nothing. What about all that case law she put in the complaint? Well, it was from some dumb pluck somewhere. Who even knows? Well, do you know really where that case law came from? Don't know, don't care. Consider the source. All right, what about the second point? What was that? Some dumb gibberish about, the pool. Yeah, we've been working on a pool in Port Townsend for 20 years for David Faber. Like, what is she? She's just dumb, right? She thinks it's just, I want a pool for me. What she's saying is that you don't like the people in the county. You're mean to the people in the county. You call them chuds and turfs and all kinds of names, and then you want their taxes to pay for a pool that's within walking distance to your house. It's not within walking distance to my house. It is not close to my house at all. It is a zillion billion miles away from my house. Right, but you said that the golf course is walking distance to Uptown. Well, yeah, it is. Is your house in Uptown? Oh, no, my house is way closer than Uptown. It's like right between have to be. Well, isn't the pool across the street from the golf course? I don't know what you're saying, but I'm David Faber, and those two things just do not even compute. I know you've been, right. I know what videos you've been watching. That Reverend Cox. Consider the source. Okay, what about the third point? Oh, those assaults that night? Nothing to do with me. Didn't you incite violence? No. Did you talk to Antifa before the event? No, I don't know. Antifa's a myth. I don't know nothing about Antifa. What about that school block, those people you were interacting with and sending hate about Julie? She posted stuff that you did that. No, I didn't do any of that. And Antifa wasn't there, and Antifa doesn't even exist. And, but she said that those men assaulted those women. They had probable cause and felony assault charges, and then your law firm represented him. I don't know nothing about my law firm. My law firm? I'm David Faber. You think I know what goes on down there in my law firm? I don't know about what goes on in my law firm. Well, didn't she post that you told that girl that, Alex French was getting, quality legal services? What did you mean? I just meant that I know lawyers, and all lawyers are quality. I meant he's going to get a quality lawyer. Did you mean like a public defender? I meant like quality is what I meant. So you didn't give any special favors? I did not. Well, how come your law firm was paid by a private party to represent Alex French? I don't know nothing about none of that. Like none of that happened. But don't you own the building your law firm's in? So you would benefit from what goes on in there. You'd benefit from payments. You'd benefit from things your partner does. No, I don't benefit from any of it. It's arm's length. Like you've seen those stretch arms in those cartoons way out there. That's how far of an arm's length it was between me and, the person who actually represented Alex, which has nothing to do with me, which is, some guy named Feinson or something. I don't even know him. And it was nothing to do with me. So you didn't give any special favors to Alex French so that he got out of all those felony charges. He did? It's the first time I'm hearing of it. Yeah, he didn't get any felony charges. They all just went away. I didn't even know that. I'm just now hearing that. Well, good for him. But the law is the law. And the police and the prosecutors, they all do the law. And the law is all right. It's nothing to do with me. What about the other guy, that Ryan Harris? Assault on an officer. Who? Well, there was this guy, and he was protecting Alex French to assault the women, and he committed assault on an officer. There was a whole bunch of videos where officers said that it happened, probable cause and witnesses from officers, and the next morning, he wasn't even arraigned. He was just let out of jail free. You have anything to do with that? I had nothing to do with that. Well, she posted something about Feinson, looking into it or whatever the next day. I don't have nothing to do with that, Feinson. I don't even know him. I barely met him. I ran into him in the store one time back in the 80s. I don't even know that guy. And if that guy makes money, it doesn't make me any money. We have nothing to do. Well, aren't you partners together in, technically, ethically, a real estate holding company? I didn't know nothing about that. Were you partners in a law firm with him? I didn't know nothing about that either. And who he represents has nothing to do with me. Arm's length, really arm's length, nothing. Well, that Ryan Harris, he didn't even get any charges. He didn't get arraigned, nothing. Assault on an officer. Isn't that disrespecting your Port Townsend police? I don't know anything about that. None of that happened. What about the fourth point? Oh, what was that? 4 points? Like a 4-pointed stars? What are you talking about? Well, the fourth point that Reverend Crystal Cox again? Oh, on and on and on. I'm sweating bullets. Not because I don't think that she's just dumb and is going to be dismissed, but because she's like a horsefly or like a mosquito, like a bzz, 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 bzz. She filed a bunch of complaints against a bunch of people and they were all meritless. Oh my gosh. Anyway, what? David Faber, do you have to keep yapping? Okay, the fourth point. Go on with your bad self. What is it? Well, she says you violated the open meeting laws. Open meetings? We don't have open meetings. I decide what happens, and then city council reminds me that I have to have public input, so then I go, okay, what's the public got to say? And then I do what I want. I'm David Faber, see? Mm-hmm. Anywho, what was she saying? Well, she posted some evidence that you knew the night before that the chambers was going to be filled up with people on your side of the issue. I didn't know nothing about it. What I was saying that night is that I suspected and I'd heard and that maybe there's going to be a bunch of people in there that was pro this and pro that, and that maybe the other people were not going to be able to get in, and I didn't even know nothing about it. But weren't you talking to Antifa and knew that they were coming and that they were going to keep the group? I didn't know nothing about Antifa. But Antifa, the people that you were interacting with online, school board block or whatever, you sent derogatory stuff about Julie right there for everybody to see. They were tweeting on the old tweet box in real time, slamming Crystal, slamming all the speakers. They were there, and those women were kept out of the meeting physically by force. Nothing to do with you, nothing to do with me, and it didn't violate any open meeting laws either. Because if those women wanted to come into the meeting, they could have come into the meeting. They could have got up early in the morning and stood in line like everybody else. First come, first serve. Yeah, but didn't you guys let other groups in the back door? We did not do any of that. There's no one. Who's this we? Well, she showed an email of Chief Olson and City Manager Morrow that let one group in the back door with police escort. I don't know nothing about what Mr. Morrow and Mr. Olson's up to. Like, their business is private. Like, I don't even pay any attention to their business. So her fourth point is moot. DOA, dead on arrival. Well, consider the source.